Also, folks wanting to know that forecast. Is there any relief coming? I know we're in summer and this is it, but
eventually we're going to see some relief. But today was a big day too because we got an update to the hurricane forecast for the Atlantic.
Right, yeah.
So the Colorado State University does this, and everyone asked me, why does Colorado State do this? Well, they've actually been doing it since the 1980s, 1984. William Gray started doing these. They updated their forecast today, in part because there was some warmer water in the Atlantic here to start the season, and we've already had 3 named storms. So the updated forecast from Colorado State is now 18 named storms, 9 of those becoming hurricane, possibly 4 major hurricanes. The previous forecast was 15, 7, and 3. On average, it's 14, 7, and 3. Their preseason forecast, by the way, was 13, 6, and 2. So it's continued to go up, mainly because we're seeing some changing conditions. And this is part of the reason, even though there's an El Nino going on, which deters hurricanes typically because of wind shear, there is so much warm water. In fact, this is record warm water for this early in the season, which means any system out there that can get going is likely going to be very strong. And because of that warm water, the forecast was updated. Now, right now, things are calm. We've had, Arlene, Brett, and Cindy so far, and an unnamed subtropical storm in January. So think about it, 4 systems actually. But it does look quiet over the next couple of weeks. We will keep an eye on some Caribbean areas because that's where the water is warm. But we are only in early July, and typically August is when things really start to ramp up. Locally warm overnight, very muggy. That's not going away. Scattered late day storms, get used to that pattern. And the 90-degree streak is going to continue. It's 7 right now today. We're going to add to it tomorrow, certainly. You can see we have mostly clear skies tonight, but it's been pretty muggy. Tomorrow will be a day very much like today. Lower 90s, and again, a 20 to 30% chance of those typical afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Think about 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Now, severe weather-wise, nothing that we're expecting severe, but in the summertime, any storm can really become pulse up and become severe briefly. But you see on Saturday, there is a front back to the west that will likely bring a better chance of severe weather to the west that we're going to have to keep an eye on. If you're wondering when to get a break from the mugginess, not a lot here over the next couple of days. There are some signs, maybe the middle of next week, we'll call it lower dew points in the lower 60s, which will feel pretty good compared to the 70s. But get used to the summer pattern. We're kind of locked into it. This is typically the warmest time of the year, and that's the way it's going to be. Low 90s by day, pop-up afternoon storms in the afternoon and evenings, and overnights, not much of a cool down. Tomorrow afternoon, if you're planning those outdoor activities, think about 3, 4, 5 o'clock. That's when we'll see those pop-up storms. Should die down around sunset. Saturday, maybe a fewer storms. That should allow for temperatures to maybe jump into the mid-90s. And then on Sunday, we'll see another round of those afternoon storms. So a warm one tomorrow. Again, temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s in the mountains, upper 80s and low 90s across the foothills. Certainly some low 90s here in the Piedmont, 93, 92-ish. And it's going to feel hotter than that with the dew points. Here's a look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Steamy weekend, maybe Monday cooler just because of clouds and showers, but it looks like the 90s are going to persist into next weekend. We'll go 10 days into the future, and that's a lot of 90-degree weather, so we're making up for some lost time in June.